5. First day back your way, and we go the distance. We're 4 hours in. We got 1 more to go. We've got GAM, we've got Vikings, and we've got a world slot to decide.
Yeah, it's all happening. We had our first ever 1v1 cast. Let's go. It was actually less eventful than I kind of thought it would be, but very nice display of skill. And now Kiaya, one last time. Just do the same again to Nanaware. He's even worse at laning than Kati, so if you do that again, get 2 solo kills on Draven, yeah, maybe you win the game.
Yeah, maybe. Apparently we've got a draft for you your way.
And which side do they choose? It's GAM on blue side. We finally switched sides. And there's the Zyra ban.
Okay, the 1v1 mattered. Because Vikings were going blue.
Yeah, Vikings were definitely going blue. So we saw this play out in game number 1 where GAM was on blue and first picked Zyra. So this time they banned Zyra. They could first pick Lilia and leave the Vikings jungle Guri without any option. But so far, AP Shyvana is not banned. We might be in a game 5 AP Shyvana kind of thing.
Are we getting a game 5 AP Shyvana Levi? If that happens, I'm looking up at I'm saying turn the simulation off. I'm on to you. Let me out.
But he kind of has to do it now if he wants the ban to be a thing for the rest of the playoffs, right? Because if he doesn't pick AP Shyvana here, why would anyone else ban AP Shyvana against? We have it! Carrick's AP Shyvana. Let's go.
Your way, this takes me back. I'm getting like actual tears and a bit of nostalgia. Me and you up way too late. Casted AP Shyvana.
Okay, it's time for Skarner. Skarner jungle just to traumatize him.
Wait, was there a Skarner?
Yeah, Spring 2020. Yijin Skarner.
Oh, you're totally right.
Levi, game 5, completely dominating the game as Shyvana, and then running into Skarner, and Skarner grabbing him into his death and completely turning the whole game around. Flash won the split. Levi lost the game. So, I mean, Maokai is kind of similar. Maybe they can replicate the same thing onto this AP Shyvana, which in Levi's sense is actually his nose-plate jungler this split, because of course it is. And I'm not sure if we still have the emote, but we definitely used to have AP Shyvana CAC W in our emote role. So I can quickly check if we still have that.
We don't have it on Twitch. Do we still have it on Discord? We might. Anyway. It is the Zeri for Kati as well, looking very good. He's looked fantastic on that so far, and they're gonna go the Nah. Alright. Can they teach Nanaway?
Yeah, this would be very risky to go Camille into Nah. If you get dominated in the lane, it's really hard to get back on track with Camille. But it is a decent matchup. I would choose something safer. Nah is not the strongest lane bully anymore, so you could actually get away with a tank or a Renekton or something. Cannon has historically been very good into Nah, so should be fine in lane. And this looks like another game where Nana, even if he loses lane, he should be able to just scrape by and survive and be ready for team fights.
Yeah, they really should. I was going to say something safe. I don't know if game 5 is a time for safety or if it's a time for boldness. The Kennedy is pretty bold after the performance in game 1 from Nanaway really didn't work out.
Jin ban. Okay, Jin hasn't had any sort of presence in this series so far, so completely different read there from SOFM and his coaching team. Caitlyn worked a little too well for Shogun, so they're going to get rid of that one.
I feel like he gets like Senna Nautilus is still good. Oh,
they ban Nautilus themselves, so I think it's good for Shogun if it's open, because it's his most played champion, very successful so far on the split. Why not just pick a
Poppy Senna? You deny Shyvana being able to actually jump on people. Lucian hates Poppy. Nah hates Poppy.
True.
It was banned last game.
Yeah, I think it's an Ezreal plus whatever support. I think support doesn't even matter. Kai'Sa, okay. So Kaiser ban actually indicates that Easylev wants to play Ezreal again, because Kaiser has historically been a very good answer into Ezreal, can jump on top of him in the late game and kind of assassinate the Ezreal. I would just pick Ezreal here for Shogun, and don't really see a reason why not. Has been the comfort champ, I think 4 straight games of Ezreal for Easylev, right?
I think it's Ezreal or a Senna lane. Ziggs is interesting.
Okay, Ziggs could pair with Senna still.
Could.
Smolder. Huh. Bot lane Smolder?
I mean, bot lane Lucian, mid Smolder.
Could be, yeah. Bot lane Lucian would kind of be weird too. Lucian, Nami into Ziggs, yeah.
Yeah, punish them early, yeah.
Okay, if it's bot lane Lucian, it's gonna be Nami here. It's apparently bot lane Smolder. I'm not a big fan of that one.
Big scale across from a Ziggs.
Looks like they want to put Maokai into the bot lane. It's such an interesting draft. So many mind games. I would just slam Senna here.
I don't trust that buy until it's locked.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, personally I would go Senna and just go Ziggs Senna and have Ziggs solo lane after a while, but instead they go a traditional support route. It's Rakan. Probably for the engage power on the likes of Smolder and even Shyvana. More engaged. This time a lot of engage on Viking side. So we played a lot of disengage, counter-engage style compositions. And now this game, finally a lot of engage coming from the side of Vikings. Not sure if they can execute, but Kati Zeri still unbeaten. Still now on a 5-game winning streak, and no one has been able to crack the code against Kati Zeri. Worked 2 times already this series, why not a 3rd?
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting, the massive pivot that have come out from Vikings in this last game. A completely different comp style. It's hard to read. Is it desperation? Is it something they had ready to throw at GAM in a game 5? Did they have the knuckleball ready to throw? B on Rakan, I mean, he's a fantastic Rakan player, but it's so different to what he's been playing. I mean, he's played 2 games of Senna. Yue, cards on the table. Who is locking their spot at Worlds?
It's so hard to predict. I like Vikings here. Because I feel like GAM has kind of shied away from their winning formula. I don't think Na can really carry the game alone like Smolder could, so not entirely sure why they chose Na this time for Kiai. It's not a bad champion, but just not the same kind of presence as late game Smolder. So even though I like the AP Shyvana, I think Vikings team composition looks a little bit more cohesive. I especially like the Zeri again. Yeah, I think it's Vikings for me.
Fair enough, and as you can see on the screen, winner goes to Worlds. Of course, the lowest you can finish if you win today is 2nd. We do send 2. Nunaway, it seems we've got a little bit of a chunk onto Kiaya early. Obviously not going to stick, but you know, nice. Does mean that their bot side are able to get some deep vision, get a little bit of disruption. That I mean, Guri's been dealing with that all day. Maybe it's Levi's turn.
Yeah. What's your prediction?
I can't bet against Kiaya in a game 5. I just can't do it. Especially Levi going back to his roots on AP Shyvana. I can't hate it.
I'm super excited to watch some Shyvana kick W. There's some good targets on the enemy team too. 3 squishy champions, 4 squishy champions. So a big Shyvana E in the late game, boom, all of them just disappear from screen. And of course we have another scuffle in the jungle.
Lovely knock up there by B. Levi in so much trouble, but he's able to fight back. Now B stuck in the corner, has to flash out. Guri trying to move forward, flashing away. Levi surviving on Shogun on the run. Oh my god, this game is being decided by millimeters. Flash forward, Cardi, Emo rather, will get the first blood onto Cardi.
And while the Lucian wasn't successful for Kati in the 1-on-1, now he gets punished and shown how to play Lucian on the Rift. He's now 0-3 with and against Lucian the last 2 instances he's seen. And Emo, what a huge advantage in the mid lane. Gets a kill, gets the whole first wave against Zero. This is now a hard game for Carty to play. Can he navigate this mid lane laning phase to the same sort of success he had in the last few games? But let's take another look. 4v4 on the bot side jungle. And first it kind of looked like Vikings had a better spot, but Shogun just had to land a few more bombs AoE style. The first one doesn't hit anyone, the second one only hits minions. I can't be really aggressive on the Q, and then the engage on Levi. If anything, they kind of need to commit to a 3 flash match on top of that head. Now they're separated, they're both not really the idea, but
now we're fixing it. There's nothing the casters can do, so yelling at the casters in chat doesn't accomplish anything. We're fixing it. In the meantime, it is a very slight lead for Vikings, as they've already picked up one tower plate in the bot side as well.
Apologies, I didn't notice. Should be better now. They kind of got away with this one fine, it looks like. Carty back to even CS somehow? I'm not entirely sure how he managed that, but as long as Carty can just scale and keep his amazing CSing up, everything is fine.
Yeah, I mean, Carty has been extremely strong. He's down like a longsword refillable. That's pretty painful in this lane. He's also not got biscuits where Emo does. He should not be able to maintain dead even CS. Emo should be playing aggressive, trading health for health, because he wins that. But Carty can play around it.
And now Kiaya against Nana, where we have seen this before. Kiaya with the advantage, even though you got pushed out of topside jungle early on in the game. So once again, at least it's even in CS for Nana, where he's gonna bleed a few platings maybe here or there, but unless he gets solo killed, everything is within calculations for Vikings. He just needs to survive lane and be a decent teamfight threat.
Yeah, exactly. He is on this cannon. Even if he falls a little bit behind, he'll still be super threatening. They did pass the literacy test and take exhaust. Very proud of him. Be surprised how often they fail. Shogun wandering its way back down to bot. I think this game, supports are going to be abandoning this bot lane real quick.
Yeah, as always when we see Ziggs. He's kind of there just to be a nice solo laner, an extra solo laner. B comes back to Easy Love, but yeah, what can they do? Easy Love with them some happy feet there, dodging absolutely everything. But in the end, it's just gonna be. I mean, to be honest, Smolder is kind of like AD Ziggs, very similar spells. So they're just gonna blast the minion waves back and forth, and nothing's gonna happen. But maybe one of the two supports can move into top lane or mid lane and get their fill of action, because the support players, when the ADCs are just farming supports, get bored out of their minds, understandably. So let's see if B can do something about that.
Yeah, I mean, he's on a champion that is very strong roaming as Guri. Once again, looking towards these grubs. Levi actually contesting here rather than trying to force around Dragon. Shyvana's, you'll so often see, want that early Dragon for her passive, but Levi thinks it's more important to take the fight to Guri.
Yeah, and Guri unsure if he can contest, because of course his mid lane is still in a disadvantage. Carty does hit level 6 though, so he might be able to now finally catch up with Guri, who is still level 5. If they get the engage on, okay.
Yeah, in that slicing maelstrom, Culling comes out. Emo now separated from Levi, and the ult is down. Carty will pop that Zeri ult. Moving in, here comes Nunaway. Sacrifices himself. It might deal enough damage. Only gets the one back, but will secure at least one grub.
It's a very important kill for Carty though. Oh, B miscalculated. Doesn't get the grand entrance onto Easy Love. That would have been a kill, or at least a flash forced. But really nice sidestep there from Easy Love. Just walking forward, so B didn't actually get the natural progression. Guri Build overextended. Can he get out of here?
He's in a lot of trouble. The flash forward, he's going to get taken down. 3-hit passive, just a little bit too strong. And Kati with the slow from the boomerang, not able to join in.
That's a bad mistake from Guri. Back in game number 1, he made this kind of pathing mistake in the early game and gave a huge advantage over to Levi's Zyra. Then he had 3 really good games following up that first game, and now he's back to game number 1 performance. That doesn't bode well for Vikings' chances. But let's have another look here. A little bit of a chaotic situation. I'm not in love with Nana. We're going back in, but maybe it was necessary. The kill going to Kati is very big for Vikings. He's their main carry. He's the one they rely on. Shogun is just there to generate advantages. And Levi with the first dragon form of the game.
Yeah, it goes into the ult form, but just sort of bashes B around the head, throws some damage at Guri, of course. He's not doing very much yet. But can they turn this into a dragon? Of course, every dragon taken is very big for Shyvana. She gets a lot of stats out of it. Vikings don't want to let this for free.
Guri could ult here and try to get in there. It's only 3 people from Vikings.
There is the ult. It's a little bit late. It's about to get smited. They have to try and find a fight. They do get a knockup. There's a lot of damage onto Levi. They just execute him. But they do secure the dragon. In a lot of worlds, both teams are happy with that.
Yeah, and this is kind of how you have to play around a champion like Shyvana, which is so focused, so overly focused, you could say, on one single objective. It's kind of like Belweth with the topside objective, right? Because they really have to get that kind of objective under their belt to start snowballing. And yeah, as you said, both teams are decently happy with this one. They get another kill on the Kati, Vikings that is, as Nanoware is in trouble.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. Pops the slicing maelstrom, just needs to try and dodge, but you can't dodge autos. Kiaya will clean him up.
Oh man, it's a sad sight to see him die once again in a 1v1 matchup. He just hasn't been able to stand up to Kiaya, and if they want to contest the final in a week's time, if both teams make it there, which we all predict, then I think their top lane has to step up even more, even though in finals, Kiaya usually is even better than before. So let's see how he handles this situation. 0-2 after just 10 minutes of game time, but his team is still up 300 gold, so it's not all over. Unless he starts inting regularly now, he should still be fine.
Easy Love getting a lot of damage onto Shogun here. Does get the flash.
Can Shogun force with his ultimate? No, his ultimate is gone already. That was risky from Easy Love. If he gets hit by the Q, he is in danger of dying. Alistar is wrapping around there.
Here. B should be able to play Protector, give that little heal. And Smolder backing off. Shogun will just be down that flash. Oh, throwing out the ult! Woohoo! Okay, do we get like a flash Q? We do! Lovely stuff, B. Gets out as well, and that is a punish onto an overstaying Easy Love.
Yeah, it's... So Easy Love did everything well until he had to go away, because that was not great.
B satchel. Lovely, lovely.
Yeah, B also, amazing job there covering for his ADC. He just stood in front of Levi and didn't let him fire his E onto Shogun. Shogun knows where Levi is going, really nice senses there. And second dragon form of Levi doesn't really give him anything either, while Guri on the top side is securing 3 more of the grubs. So 4 grubs to 2, once again advantage grubs for Vikings.
Yeah, really well, good stuff there. B showing why we have held him in such high regard for so many years, talking about him as the GOAT support of the VCS, depending on your takes on Taki, of course.
Shogun, you have to say, Shogun has gone from one support king to the other. So
yeah.
It's definitely a nice world he's living in. He has really nice lane partners, but he has also been a star performer. Not so much in this series, maybe something that Vikings can still change over the course of the next week, no matter if they win or lose today. They're gonna play next week again, either in the grand finals or the lower bracket finals, so A little bit of an interesting meta read, a lot of Ziggs, a lot of Senna, a lot of Nautilus for their star AD carry. I would like to see more of the Caitlyn, because last game he looked amazing on that champion. More of the Caitlyn, maybe a little bit more of the whatever other ADCs can play. Kai'Sa comes to mind. Some of the crit ADCs that are slowly coming back into the meta. An MF I would like to see. So yeah, still a lot to see from these players, and we have a whole nother week to enjoy them.
That we do. And something that I'm noticing that's very interesting is the supports are staying in bot lane. There's so much of a jungle focus down here that what we thought would be a roam heavy lane has not worked out that way, as Vikings setting up again. Could just be tower plates, could just be trying to set up that satchel, but a good knock up onto Elio. Bang. Alistair ult down.
Okay, Guri is here. He's losing a lot of time, and
this is just trying to get first tower.
Yeah, Levi did steal some of the camps. By the way, it's not full AP Shyvana, of course, because nowadays her build is a little bit different than back in the day when Levi last played this AP Shyvana thingy. It's now mostly ability damage focused. She is gonna buy some AP items, but first she starts with the best ability enhancing item, Shojin. So yeah, she's more AD focused right now. She's gonna transition into a little bit more of an AP force later on in the game.
Yeah, Shyvana has gone through. It's interesting how much of a evolution Shyvana has gone through, despite the champion just never changing. Going back and forth, that AP, that bruiser, back to AP, now this sort of hybrid situation. The champion is surprisingly dynamic, does have that full fury bar, locked and loaded. If they want to try and fight around this dragon, GAM that is.
Yeah, this dragon would be really important for Vikings to control and secure, to not let Levi and GAM snowball out of control, but now...
They're TPing to top. They're giving it up.
It looks like they are content giving up the dragon. It's a little bit dangerous, but
Shogun
securing
gets
another tower here for Shogun would really give them a lot of gold, especially on their little Ziggs, who's already secured an item, and he actually went for tier this time. Finally, a pro Ziggs that goes tier. I'm so happy to see that. Personally, whenever I play Ziggs, I can't imagine anyone playing this champion without tier. Like, after one wave, you're just I can't understand how pros can manage without tier.
Yeah, pros just have more mana.
Yeah, apparently.
Tournament realm needs to have
Maybe it's just Aram. Aram map with all the secret buffs. That's why the champions do more damage.
But as you said, though, Shogun doing well. He's currently 30 CS ahead of his opposite number in Easy Love. Easy Love at 110 stacks, I think, just before he tabbed away. At 15 minutes, not too bad. Not the fastest ever, but definitely not the slowest. Have to keep an eye on that. Smolder has already finished the Triforce.
Yeah, another one of those weird hybrid champions, because all the champions that are very ability focused right now and have AP and AD scalings, but mostly AD scalings, go for these hybrid builds. Nana, please make it out of here.
He's in so much trouble. Emo flashing forward. There was a steal on the Herald there as well. Mum called in, doesn't do much. Shyvana will fall down. Elio could be next on the chopping block. Moving forward onto him is Guri. Kind of knocks him the wrong way though. Not exactly what you want. Kiaya threatening with a Gnar. Elio trying to find his way into the backside, but a lovely knockup from B should clean up the cow. Kiaya just has to hop away.
And I'm starting to suspect this is an elaborate setup from the side of Viking. They look so prepared for Levi's Shyvana, don't you think? They seem
really
to have the perfect answer for every single time he shows on the map. He's 0-3 now. They've killed him on every objective so far. Look at him again. He can't get away. He just can't do anything on the map without dying. The Rakan and Maokai combination just locks him down. He has no way of escaping. Goes down once again. 2 kills to Vikings, another tower to them. This is a dominant early game from the side of Vikings, and GAM look a little bit out of sorts.
Yeah, they really do. I think Vikings have potentially baited this a little bit. They definitely were ready for it. Let's have a look at what happened to Nanaway. He just gets caught by a Lucian in the bush.
Do we have to?
Yeah. We do. Poor guy. Oof, just absolutely no hope there.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Oh, observers, why you gotta do it to him?
Oh, that was brutal. That was career ending. Oh, my God. Getting out of the replay instantly into another
that's
inch.
one of
He's
those
0
ones.
4.
That's one of the ones that goes alongside like the Lep Hall of Fame.
Garrett, do you remember what I said?
17-2.
I said this was individual against team, right? I
Yep.
thought I was talking Kiaya against Vikings, but maybe I was actually talking Nanawe against Vikings.
He's having a rough one. You know what? I don't want to bag on the rookie. Big game. It's hard. He's got a whole week to figure out the nerves, and who knows? They can still win this game. It's by no means over. In fact, Vikings are ahead. Let's not bury the lead.
It's one of those interesting game states where two sides of the map are heavily in your favor, and then one side of the map you can't even enter, wherever Nanawe is. So they just have to buy him some time, get him to some items so he's at least somewhat safe in the side lane. Maybe get him to a Zonius or something, so he can run away from the emo onslaught, or even Kiaya trying to chase him down. But everything else looks super great for them. There are 2 items finished for their Ziggs. Kati is scaling up nicely, and yeah, they haven't lost a tower yet. Okay, they're 2 dragons down, but it doesn't really matter too much unless they lose the next 2 as well. So I think Vikings are still in a very strong position in this game. They just have to somehow find a way to integrate their top lane a little bit more.
Yeah, that is a strong point, but at the same time, at some point you stop trying to integrate him and just, if he gets a big ult, he gets a big ult. If he just stops feeding, maybe that's good as well. You do have the problem of easy love scaling. Ooh, hello, Nanawe. Not doing too badly here, slicing Maelstrom, and spoke too soon.
I like how you try to give him a nice narrative, but then he died a second later.
Calm's being mean. Like, come on.
I mean, honestly, at this point, does the dive even give you that much? He's 0-4 already before you kill him, so he can't actually be worth that much money. And you lose the next dragon for it. Maybe they would have lost it anyway, because in teamfights they're weaker right now, but still, tower for tower trade, or not quite tower for tower trade. So you get a tower and a kill, but your dragon snowball is halted, and the enemy team gets to farm bot lane. So still advantageous for GAM, but not actually that great.
Yeah, it's true. It's not as bad as maybe it seems. Viking are doing really well playing around their weak side failing. B potentially stepping up into emo, but he's got the 6th sense. He knows he can't step up any further than he did.
Yeah, and I am keeping one eye all the time on the Zeri build. 2 items done, 3rd item now in the making. He has boots completed, so he's actually quite advanced in this build already at 20 minutes. And so far the games have gone 45, 43, 40 something minutes, and then 30. I don't know, very long games. And every time Zeri was on the Rift, she looked really strong in teamfights later on. So I think Kati is once again set up to carry this game home.
Yeah, Kati has had a fantastic series so far. Even in the losses, he's looked really strong. Nanawe managing to clear the wave. Needs to be careful with Kiaya about to go Mega, but Tower dissuading him from any further play. But yeah, Kati on this Zeri has looked pretty ridiculous. I'm honestly surprised it hasn't been hitting the ban list. I think you need to make Kati play something else.
Yeah, and GAM really has to think about if they want to continue trying to attack Nanawe's lane, because it's getting a little bit ridiculous with the investment. Okay, this time they still got a tower, but now all the outer towers are gone. So if you commit to killing Nanawe or chasing him down in the side lane, you're gonna have to step into inner tower territory. And we've already seen, I think it was game number 3, where they chased into the territory right around the inner tower, and then Vikings killed them from behind. So this is quite dangerous. Vikings on the other side.
Baron?
Yeah, they read their GAM's not here to contest, but their Baron is slow.
They also just stepped over a scuttle. And they're just going to kill Elio as he steps up to try and do something about it. But the TP comes in. Cardi has a lot to do.
Look at Levi.
Lovely bomb from Shogun. Levi unable to do anything. None away from the back. Instantly gets two. Will be taken down on the other side by Emo. And the Viking health bars are so low. Kiaya can carry the rest of this fight out. Is in that mega form. Emo desperately trying to move forward onto B. Can't quite find it. And in the end, somehow, just a 2 for 2.
Wait, how is this a 2 for 2? It looked so good for Vikings. Ah, this can't be happening again.
GAM magic. It's GAM magic.
Yeah, we need to see the replay again. I think, yeah, you can once again see how well prepared they are to deal with Levi. They instantly turn on Levi and just eliminate him, but at least he gets down a little bit of damage this time around. I say that, but I can't even see his damage. He's not the full AP Shyvana from 2019, so his first E doesn't actually deal that much damage. Nanoware gets a huge flank, invests absolutely everything, but does get quite a big payoff. It's 2 kills to Easy Love Smolder, though, so this could go a long way to give GAM a fighting chance in late-game teamfights, with the Smolder scaling up nicely, Levi getting stronger as well. But yeah, we can see 240 stacks already. He is at the threshold to execute people if he gets there. So yeah, this Smolder is another big factor. And the one game we had a Smolder in this series, of course, it was top lane Smolder with multiple solo kills, but still, it did carry the game.
It did, and Easy Love is in a position where he really hasn't played poorly this series, but he has been very quiet. Nunaway caught again. So he did. But Easy Love has had a quiet series, so seeing him actually be the carry in a Game 5 is a huge, a bit of a change of pace, and it's good and it's reassuring for GAM fans going into the actual grand final. Easy Love will not be something that can be exploited.
So once again, I have to go back to the fact that GAM didn't play Easy Love in any of the games against Vikings early on. They only played against Neo, and this new ADC... I mean, new ADC is a little bit of a ridiculous statement. The old school GAM ADC Easy Love coming back after a little bit of a hiatus is performing nicely. GAM never needed a Shogun or Artemis style ADC to win. They have Kiaya and Levi. They don't need that. They just need a consistent, decent ADC like style for all those years. And Easy Love is stepping up to that role quite nicely.
Yeah, 100%. It is, of course, interesting with GAM. They do have Neo sitting behind Easy Love. A lot of people kind of confused at that situation as Nunaway in a little bit of trouble again as Kiaya is going to roll on out. Take him down. Kiaya could go down on the backswing, though, with a TP. He's taking a lot of tower shots, but Shogun doesn't really have the tools to get onto him, except throwing the bomb, so Kiaya just gets away with it.
And meantime, another Dragon to Levi. So the game has fully swung back into GAM's favor, I'd say. The gold is really even, but the huge hole in the top lane is just giving GAM so many opportunities on this map. It doesn't even matter how much gold he's worth, it's just creating so much space for GAM to just walk up right next to him and get an objective there, get a tower here, get another solo kill for Kiaya, and Kiaya 4-0-3. And his other solo laner Emo 5-0-3, so GAM is set up more than well enough to win this game in teamfights.
It's just so difficult for Vikings right now. It hasn't quite come together. I think they have such a well-constructed idea of what to do in teamfights, but GAM is just not offering them those teamfights. They're just bullying Nunaway on the sides. Levi, though, caught out, has the dragon form, so they're not going to overcommit onto him. But a bit of a shame that they weren't able to actually force it out.
So Levi hasn't really found any success in this game so far, but he's slowly getting stronger and stronger, scarier and scarier. Now his first full AP item is finished with the Liandry, so his E is gonna have a little bit of an oomph now and burn away, especially at the likes of Guri on his high HP total. This almost feels a little bit like a Hail Mary, a Desperation Baron.
Mum is cool, just does a little tickle to Shogun, nothing serious. Baron is actually fairly low, and it's GAM that'll pull the trigger on the TP first. Can Nunaway stop him? He can't, he tried. Oh, I think that's a mistake from Nunaway. I think you just had to press TP at the same time. He's gonna get hit. Now. It's okay. 3,500 health. Levi has the dragon form, can get into the pit, almost unstoppable.
Oh,
and he steals it. The captain always gets what he wants, and somehow they're winning the fight as well, as Easy Love is just going completely hog wild. No, never mind, they're getting wiped out. Can Easy Love find it? Easy Love, he's got 3 low health bars. He's got an execute your way, but he misses a spell. That's an absolute disaster. Guri locks him down. Guri takes him down. Well, actually, Cardi was the one that got the kill. They nullify the Baron, they get the Ace, and Vikings are back.
Okay, close to game ending actually there from Vikings. If they got the Baron, they would have been in a really strong position to get this game, especially after we saw what they do with Barons usually. But they still win the fight, and probably the situation there as well. They get another mid tower, they set up Carti especially for very nicely for the rest of the game. 6, 2, and 5, 3 items completed already, and level 16 for this mid lane Zeri. Carti is just unstoppable on this champion, but so seems to be the Easy Love Smolder. He did so much work. I'm so sad we don't see the damage stats, because that would have been very interesting in this fight. What actually happened? Elio is biding his time, looking for an engage, but I think he went in with Levi, and this is of course all geared towards Baron stealing. So from the get-go, GAM fights with without Levi, so they can't really win this team fight, and they got surprisingly close to actually winning this team fight, because Easy Love is just free-firing. Look at all the damage he's dealing. Yeah, I would have loved to see the damage stat. This is close to a triple kill. If he has one more item, I think he kills all 3 of them.
I also think the one mistake Easy Love made, and it's not really a criticism because it's a very easy mistake to make, is he wasn't sure if he goes for the kill. You see, he used the flap and moved backwards, as in, oh, I'm going to go over the wall and get away. Then sort of halfway was like, hang on a second, I can kill them. And then moves back forward and didn't get the full value. If he just goes forward, I think he gets the triple kill. But ridiculously hard call to make in the moment. Very easy to spot in a replay.
And now, Zeri just completed her IE. She's on 4 items, she's 100% crit. She is a ridiculous late game menace, and if Carti plays like he did all series, and honestly all year on this champion, this should be Vikings games to lose, because this is a late game Zeri, full items almost, all the important items, and a really competent player piloting her.
Away.
Oh, BT doesn't give crit anymore. Oopsie. Yeah, it's only 75% crit, but that's still more than enough to kill all of them. He's gonna build the 100% with the next item, so apologies. So many changes to ADC items, I can't keep track. But of course, he's still unbelievably strong. He's almost 3k HP as well, so quite hard to take down, even if they get the jump on him, and GAM doesn't really have a reliable CC to lock him down.
Levi already in dragon form, potentially able just to wait it out, but 5k health on the dragon. This is, of course, the whole point. Nunaway just now arriving. There's Mum being called. So much damage. Soul point has been secured. Nunaway actually getting a lot in that slicing maelstrom, but it just doesn't matter. It's a mess, but it is a dragon-themed mess. As they clean it up, it is an ace, and GAM walk away with Soul and 5.
Interesting. Okay, so Carti couldn't actually shine in that fight. Maybe a little too cluttered. GAM's champions are all very, very strong if you put them close together, and if you pull all the champions close together. Think about Gnar ultimate, think about Levi and all his AoE damage, and of course Smolder comes in there as well. So maybe Vikings have to rethink their teamfight positioning, because they can't run into this meat grinder, even though Cannon wants to. I think Carti needs the time to stack up his ultimate to come from the outsides. Look at Carti! Oh! A huge mistake. He thought this was the normal blast cone, maybe. He just jumped way too far, and yeah, the enemy team instantly pounced on him and killed him. Shogun was an easy pickings afterwards, and in the end, very successful team fight. It's Soulful GAM, and the double dragon composition looks like it's gonna dominate once again.
Yeah, turns out you just get a bunch of dragons. You do pretty well. To be honest,
that has always been the case in League history, but now you can also pick a bunch of dragons in your own champion. So now they have 6 dragons.
Do you remember way back in the day getting level 1 dragons? Just getting
Yeah,
350
it was a
gold?
ridiculously bad play, but it was fun.
It was always terrible, but you got 350 gold, and that felt real good.
Yeah, and it took like 5 minutes to do it. So once
Yeah.
you get back to lane, everyone is level 1 with a lot of
just
gold.
die.
But yeah,
Just instantly die, yeah. Just terrible, terrible play, but it was funny.
it was possible. I think there were a few champions who could actually solo at level 3 or something, but it took ages.
Yeah, you could spend like 5 minutes on it as Warwick, because Warwick was just invincible back when he had the old Warwick Q.
Yeah, old League, you get nostalgic when you look at some of these old League of Legends VODs that are running right now with the World Championship coming up.
I always think if you want to get nostalgic while we're still in a holding pattern, one of the funniest things to do is go look at old world skins and remember what role the champion got them for.
That's true.
Like, Nunu has a world skin. It's for support, though.
Yep.
Karthus is for top lane.
Yeah, the only thing you really did as a support was press W.
You just blood boiled.
Yeah.
Blood boil them.
Yeah, so the state of supports in Season 2 was so horrendous. It was so sad. Well, now look at them here. We have 3.5 items for B. 3.5 items never happened in Season 2 for supports. Like, 60-minute game.
Heart of Gold, Philo Stone, and you were done, mate. You were carrying the oracles.
Well, I think GAM is actually now in a very good position to win this game. They still have to deal with Kati on 5 to 6 items soon, and all the other champions are gonna get stronger as well, but it's really all about Kati, because everything else can be contained. I do feel like their overall damage output is a little bit too much to manage for Vikings, though. It's similar to game number 3, where they just overwhelmed the enemy with damage. And look at Kiaya. Everything he's on screen, he has half an R-bar. Nanahue, just take notes, please. This is how we play now. Always threatening Mega Na every single time the teamfight comes around. And now it's a teamfight time, and Kiaya's Mega.
And he's already smacked Guri into the wall. Mums gets called over the side, making sure to pick up her son from school. There's a lot of damage. Actually firing back. Kati doing his best on this Zeri. 1-for-1 at the moment. Easy Love gets knocked by the satchel. Actually a disaster. They have to back off. They can't fight with Easy Love this low and Kati full health.
Okay, so Vikings stand strong. Kati still has his ultimate. No, he actually used the ultimate on the back half of the fight there. So potentially still a GAM map to win, but it looks like Vikings once again want to call for the Baron. Last time it got stolen. They still won the fight though, so a similar result could be quite good for them. They have decent Baron damage and they are not taking any damage themselves, so this is quite safe for them. But Levi's here. He has the ultimate stacked.
He has the golden touch. No, not this time. Guri is able to secure the smite. Everyone immediately gets over the wall. Guri might be sent off as a sacrifice, but you will take that. You'd lose your jungler. You get 4 Baron buffs your way.
And they're delaying his death.
Oh,
this is nice to see. I don't think I've ever seen this in the VCS before. They know what to do. They're delaying his death. They're chasing him down very slowly because they want to delay. They want to delay for Elder Dragon.
Yeah.
This is such a smart play.
This is perfect. Just keep him on the road. Come on, buddy. He's got to go execute. That's what he needs to do. He needs to go kill himself.
Yep. But now the Elder Dragon is only 35 seconds away. He's 49 seconds on the respawn timer. They don't have any portals. He doesn't have TP. This is going to be a hard few seconds for Vikings to not give up the Elder Dragon.
They do have control,
so
yeah.
They can potentially get the waves to push in quite far, and then rely on GAM not being fast enough to take the dragon instantly. But yeah, there is a window of opportunity there for the Shyvana team to just instantly rush 5 members at the Elder Dragon, and with the 20% extra damage, yeah, there we go. They are going to go for that, and I don't think Vikings can really respond.
There's nothing they can do. Shogun can throw a bomb, like get a miracle. But I don't think he's going to bother.
Yep, nicely done. Perfect play for GAM. And they finally get their Elder Dragon. Have they secured a single Elder Dragon before in the series?
All of them have gone to Viking.
Yep. And I'm not sure if that bodes well for GAM, because in the game where they secured 3 Elder Dragons, Vikings lost in the end. So we might be in for another long one here to end the series. Of course we are, because how could we not?
Yeah, we got to get a full 5-6 hours. I got to stay up late. You got to ruin my sleep schedule. I got uni in the morning, but who cares?
Okay, Levi.
Levi, potentially a little bit over-aggressive. Takes a lot of damage, as does Kiaya. Guri off to the side. They can't fight into the Elder Dragon, though, so this is not going to be a real punish.
Yeah, then they're just trying to defend. Okay, Baron has an overlap with Elder Dragon for 1 more minute. Then there's 1 minute of Elder Dragon with no overlap with Baron.
Levi gets
can they kill him?
No, the Maokai ult, not the best angle. They are able to just escape downriver.
And it looks like Levi is not actually going for the biggest damage on the Shyvana. He's going for a little bit more of a tanky route and trying to just be the off-tank, kind of annoying, slowly burning the enemy to death kind of Shyvana. Which, if you look at the rest of his team, makes a lot of sense. He has Smolder, he has Lucian, and Gnar, who can deal the damage. So he doesn't have to be the main carry. But I have to say, Carrix, it is not quite as exciting.
It's not. But that doesn't matter. What matters is the effectiveness. So we just have to, GAM, they're taking it slow. They're not overextending. They don't want to throw away a game 5. Guri, potentially a little bit caught. Over the wall comes Levi. There's a lot of Vikings around. But again, you're not going into an Elder buff. You're just never, ever going to do that.
Yeah, only 38 seconds remaining on this Elder Dragon. They are not going to crack inhibitors, I believe, because it's not actually buffing you on the push. So, looks like Vikings are going to be able to live to fight another day. Kati can't get stronger. He's on 6 items, fully completed. But there are some members of his team who still can. Guri comes to mind, Nanayue, of course, and even Shogun, I think, has 1 more item slot left. So Kati can just step back, wait for his next time to shine, and let the rest of his team farm up a storm.
Interesting decision to sell the boots. Not going for the boot upgrade, no Zephyr. Of course, that does make sense on Zeri. The attack speed not as valuable, but...
He doesn't have boots already, so he went
exactly.
with the
He's
defensive item. Yeah. I mean, Zeri gets a lot of movement speed herself, so she probably doesn't need it. It's a bit risky, though. If she gets caught, she can't really walk away easily, because she lacks the movement speed. We can see her be looking a little bit slow there, but once she gets her ultimate going, she should be able to chase down people anyway.
Yeah, it should be fine, but...
Yeah, and...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
What I was going to say was, how does Shogun get value in these fights? Because the Ziggs, it hasn't been bad by any means, but I have, other than some lovely ults, I'm not super impressed by what it's doing for the team.
Yeah, it seems like it can't keep up with the damage, which is actually surprising, because Ziggs is one of the highest damage champions in the game, especially later on. With this Q on like a 1 second cooldown, you can spam that shit like an auto attack. So I think he just needs to be a little bit more defensively minded. Just sit back a little bit more, try to poke with Q, try to get a few more E's out, maybe even a few more W's. Yeah, I hope the Ziggs can show its value, because I really like the Ziggs, but it doesn't look like it can accomplish a lot in this game so far.
Guri lurking.
Waiting for the Alistair.
Levi's gone too... Yeah, Levi's out of this one. 10 seconds on Baron. Vikings could sneak their way over there. They take it real quick.
The Elder Dragon still has a 1 minute timer on it, so Baron, the only big objective on the map. Nanoware is getting pushed on by the Lucian, but it seems like they're a little bit too scared to put the Lucian that far forward, so Nanoware right now able to just safely stay away from any enemy and farm the waves. Oh, he has to be careful now. We can see on the minimap, Lucian and Cannon are close together.
Looks like Nanaway wants to back and presumably TP to his team. Or is he just going to walk? Oh, he's going to go clear the top side, of course.
Oh, there's an engage on
finds an
Levi.
angle. Levi taking a huge amount of damage, but able to just get over the wall. B, lovely play on the recount, forcing everything out of Easy Love. Elio as well. They don't get any kills, but they burn a huge amount.
TP.
TP now. I'm not sure where that was going. As Elio taken down. Nunaway has been solo killed, and that's a disaster. They are just going to get backdoored.
I think that's where the TP was going. They tried to TP back to help Nanaway, but now they're going to lose the inhibitor on bot lane. If they can fight back with an inhibitor in mid lane, no, they can't get it. So,
this is
Kanti doesn't have enough presence against the Smolder, this level 18 late game Smolder. So now Vikings in a really bad position. They need to get out of there. They need to regroup.
I don't know if they can. Kiaya's not going to let them.
Yeah, but Super
they just got a dragon.
Super Blast Gun helps.
They started Baron. You're aware, they started Baron.
Yeah, Lucian soloing the Elder Dragon. It's gonna take a while, but on the other side, it's only 2 Viking members against 3 GAM players. They're gonna lose both big objectives, it looks like.
This is a disaster. They've been ripped out. They've been ripped apart.
Lucian is so slow, though. Can they get there in time?
That's all that matters. Levi's going to get there first to throw a smite. Vikings have been completely outfoxed. Kiaya zoning them. This is an Elder Dragon.
Yeah, this is Elder Dragon, and Elder Dragon first means Baron is very likely to follow because the enemy team can't step up to fight it. And then Baron and Elder Dragon actually gives you the pushing and the fighting power to end the game. So GAM is just one step away from winning this series and securing the world spot. I think the 3rd team to qualify they would be after Gen G and G2. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone else has been qualified there as well, but I feel like GAM is one of the earliest teams, and especially from the minor regions.
So unusual for VCS to be one of the first to qualify. We're almost always one of the last. But that is Baron. That is the double big buffs secured for GAM. Surely there's no way to lose from here.
Reset once, get back onto the lanes. You have 1 minute and 40 seconds, 100 seconds exactly, to secure the 2 inhibitors, and it should be pretty easy to siege it down. You have decent long-range pokers, not the greatest auto-attack range. You don't have a Caitlyn or anything, so maybe the enemy team can find something if you step up too quickly, but you have the Baron minions. You can just wait for them to slowly kill those turrets with the cannon attacks. So let's see how they play it. Looks like Kiaya wants to go bot lane and pressure the base tower from there already, and then maybe transition into mid lane whenever he has his Narbar stacked. Look at him, every time he shows, he's on yellow. This is how you're supposed to play now, always threatening with the instant convert on the ultimate. Now he's going to go into Mega, so Vikings might be able to wait it out for the next few seconds.
Yeah, but the thing is, waiting doesn't do a huge amount unless it's for about a minute and a half. So that's when the Barons will start falling off. Carty in trouble, ticking down. The smite doesn't quite get him below the threshold, but does pop his Bloodthirster.
He was forced to flash away from the dragon attack.
Yeah, and this is going to be double supers in every lane. This is looking dire your way. GAM are closing the trap.
Yeah. 3 inhibitors secured. There's still 15 seconds of Elder Dragon, and GAM is going to use that time. They are going to try and end here. The fight is coming.
1 tower down, they have to fight. In goes Nanaway, desperately trying to get something done, but much like the rest of the series, he will not succeed. And the Nexus falls. GAM are going to Grand Finals and going to Worlds.
A series from GAM, and in the end,
I'm popping off.
Game. After so many games where it was individual class, the 5th game is actually a showcase of GAM's power as a team. All 5 members performed really well here together. It was a rough start for their captain, for Levi, 0-3 to start the game on Shyvana, but he sat tight. He just secured objective after objective, scaled into the late game and let his carries do the work while he went a tanky route. He didn't go for the show for the 2019 Levi Shyvana build, where he just blasted everyone off the planet. No, this time he went steady. He was the captain for his team. He engaged, and the rest cleaned up. Really good series from Easy Love, especially considering on the other side of the series was Shogun. But is there any doubt in anyone's mind that the MVP of today, once again, was the best player in the league, Kiaya?
He just ripped the map open wherever he walked. He put on a masterclass. He won the both sides of matchups, and he deserves to be as happy as he is. This man on the screen as well, Levi, absolutely no slouch, hitting some huge smites and everything else that needs to be done. And GAM, as we said, have locked in their place in the play-ins. They will, of course, be playing for seeding next week. And, of course, winning the VCS is a huge prize, particularly as this is likely the last VCS shield that will be awarded as we are moving to the APAC League in 2025. GAM wants to cement themselves as the kings of the VCS, and they have one more series with which to do it. Of course, the other side, as we have a look at the bracket, it will be Vikings falling down to the losers final, taking on Team Wales for the second place in the finals. And of course, that also carries a world slot. So they are not taking their foot off the gas by any means. And I've got to say, watching this, I think Vikings are the heavy favourite. I think we're destined for a rematch.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think if you just look at the bracket, Vikings against Wales happened earlier already, just 2 days ago, and Vikings just completely dominated Wales. These two teams have been far above the rest of the league, and if Wales can't cook up something entirely new, some new approach, some better mid-game, some better drafting, because I think their drafting has been lackluster, I think this is done and dusted, and Vikings are going to be joining GAM in the grand finals on Sunday, and are going to try once again to overcome their nemesis. The one opponent they can never win against. Shogun now once again losing to GAM. Guri, okay, he wasn't on Saigon Buffalo for as long as Shogun was, but still, it's still the generational trauma of trying to overcome this GAM beast, and they just can't seem to get it done. But there's one more opportunity if they win against Wales.
And what a series it was. So exciting at every turn. As we said, Kiaya is our MVP, but honestly, every player on GAM deserves a shout out. Elio, in particular, I was watching, was an incredible player in all 5 games. His Alistair play was immaculate. But with
What a glow up!
Yeah, I know, right? What a glow up, being stuck behind B for a long time.
No, just think about all the splits we cast. It was always B, Palat, or Taki. Those were the 3 supports. No one else ever won anything. And then Elio just comes in quietly after B leaves GAM, and everyone thinks, okay, botlane is going to be a huge, huge liability for GAM, but it doesn't matter. They just keep winning, and yeah, it's a huge step up from Elio as well. Yes, the top side is the same. Yes, the top side is the consistent force in the VCS. They're the best the VCS have ever seen, but you can't win with a completely faulty bot lane, and Elio is playing so much better than he used to, so big shout out to the support player as well.
Indeed. But with that, we will be saying goodnight. VCS English has returned, and we will be bringing you the rest of the VCS for as long as we can. It is going to be next Saturday for Team Wales vs Vikings, and of course, the grand finals on Sunday. You better be there or you'll be square. My name's Carrix. With me has been Your Way, and I'm so happy to be back with you. See you next week.